Good afternoon, good afternoon. You know what I mean? It is September 18th, 2020, a Friday. Um, Two stocks I played today, EVGN and SAVA. Again, market is still slowed down for what I particularly like to play. So I've been having to adjust strategy just slightly. Still pretty much play the same type of chart patterns, the same technicals I'm looking for. Looking for consistency. Steady climbs. Pretty much. Things that just look clean fucking trends. All right. As of 9:10, as you see right here, I've been switching up my strategy, catering to what this market is giving me. The market isn't really giving too much. Very slow during this time period as far as what I like to fucking play. But this is an adjustment game, man. I have enough data for when the market is hot and knowing the numbers I could trade when the market is hot. Now that the market has slowed down, I had to readjust my risk reward. As I stated earlier, just do through calculation through data. At the breakout points right now, I'm getting roughly, a max of 8% profit total max. So, I usually typically like to try to capture a third of the move. So when I collect data, I want to know what's the maximum I can make, okay? And during a hot market, the maximum I can make is roughly 30 to 40%, more catering towards the 40%, roughly around like 39%. So if the maximum I can make is 39%, I want to try to capture a third of that move. So a third of 39% is 13%. But in this current market, slowed down, and it typically slows down around this time. So you have to readjust. So if the maximum gain I can make is roughly about 8%, I want to take a third of 8%. So what is a third of 8%? A third of 8% is about 2.6%. So anywhere between 2 and 3%. And then I'm also just using a one-to-one risk reward because, I can't really risk if I'm going for 2%, risking 1%, it could easily drop 1%, no problem. So I'm really trying to weigh my risk reward the same. So, if I'm gonna, I'm typically want to capture about 2 to 3%. So I'm willing to lose about 2 or 3%. So as you can see, as of 9:10, as you can see, I have a lot more winners than losers. I placed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 trades. And out of those 12 trades, 5, 6, 7 of them were profitable, and 5 of them were losers. So a way better streak readjusting to the market. You have to understand that. But pretty much today, if we want to focus on 9:18, EVGN was the first one I saw. Took a small little loss on it because, as I said, in these current market conditions, I don't want to really give it too much time to play out. I'm trying to look for something with momentum. Okay, so when I'm looking on my level 2, when I'm watching it, if I'm seeing a lot of movement coming in and the time it sales in the level 2, that tells me it's starting to gain momentum. And if it has a nice trend, then I like to, when it breaks out, I want to buy the dip of the break. So once it breaks, like right here, 333 was a breakout, and I let it dip a little bit when I purchased it, and then I wound up taking a small little loss, and then got back in on the dip again, and then sold it for a small little gain just to break even. As you can see, I was minus about 1%, and then I made about 1% back. And then same thing with SAV. It never really did what I really wanted it to do. As you can see on this side is the max gain. The maximum I could have made was 2%. So, 2.5%. So, still didn't necessarily meet my criteria. And as you can see, it decreased in the second time I tried. So the maximum gain I could have made was 1.4%, and I made 1% on it. So I pretty much captured all I can out of that move. And then if we go to SAVA, this just had a nice dip before it finally had a rip to 1045. So I was in at 1002 at the break of 10. The whole number. It wasn't necessarily a technical breakout, but more of a whole dollar breakout. And typically we tend to see a lot of support and resistance around whole numbers. You know, $10, $10.50, $11, $1, $1.50, $2. You know, the whole dollar points. And when it broke through, it blew through straight to 1014. And then had a pullback. I was anticipating it just to bounce off the 10, and so which is why I got in at 10:02 because it ripped from 10 to 1014, dropped and was holding, you know, the 998, 997, 999, 10. So that's when I decided to get in, and then it just didn't work out in my favor, and it dropped 20 cents pretty fast, and so I took a 2% loss on that. But again, my max gain was only going to be roughly about 4%. And then I tried replaying it again on a bigger dip. So once that dipped, it continued to dip. And so I got in when I realized it was somewhat holding. I seen a lot of bids come in on the level 2. So that's when I decided to purchase. But it just looked weak. I did wind up making about a 5-cent profit. You know, something a little less, so about half a percentage, you know, made like $4 on it. So overall, I was minus 1.8% today, which for what we can see in the adjustment, you know, 7 out of 12 is actually really good in the adjustment, with my highest gain being 4.72% and my highest loss is 4.65. So if we maintain that ratio of, you know, in this proximity of each other of a 1-to-1 risk reward, as long as I'm winning more than losing, you're going to be profitable. So those are those numbers there. We could get into it here. I executed it on 2 different accounts. And this is where I was in. For both times. I only placed 1 trade in this account. As you can see, I was up, you know, $4, you know, made $4 today. Basically a break-even trade because it did tank. So in this area at 950, or I'm sorry, at 759, which is right here. Which is right here on this bounce. So when it broke the 10 and it dropped, like I said, when I noticed this turn, that's when I wanted to get in. I was noticing, okay, it's holding, and then it had its second green candle. But when I came into the market, you got to understand from my perspective, this is what I'm seeing. Before you see all this choppiness, I came in at 7, you know, a little bit before 7 because this was the last time I traded. I came in around this time. So this is what I'm seeing. Beautiful. This is beautiful. You know, breaks, pulls back, shoots up, down, pulls back. So that's why, from this trend that I was seeing, that's why I wanted to buy the dip at this point right here, because it was going along with the trend. Up, down, and then it started grinding up, and then finally had a pullback. And I was expecting it to pop just like it did previously, as you can see in here. Popped, pulled back, popped again, pulled back, popped again. So when it pulled back, I tried to buy it in this dip in this area right here. Oh, I'm sorry, this one, 759. And it just, I didn't see any strength at all. So I just cut it and winded up breaking even, or plus $4, which is plus like a 0.5% on that particular trade. And same thing previously when I tried to trade this as well. Seen a beautiful steady climb again. This is what I was seeing. Because you got to realize this is live. So when I'm seeing this straight beauty, this is looking beautiful. It did break the trend when it came down here. It should have stayed solid, because you see a beautiful trend. It did kind of break the trend, but sometimes these stocks get choppy. And SAVA, let's get into the details. Again, as we've been seeing, the market caps over 100 million have been the ones that have been steadily running. It was also a multi-day breakout in the 10 area. Right here. So I mean, that gave me sign. That's why I seen the next resistance was at 11, which is why I originally bought it at the 10 break, because I was anticipating it to run to 11, because it was a multi-day. And as you can see in the data right here, I've been having to switch it up a little bit. Still low floats, 20 millions. I want the 20 millions or less. As you can see right here, all the floats. But I've been trading a little bit higher market cap, because that's just what the market has been giving as far as patterns that meet my criteria. So again, 166.97 million float, or I'm sorry, market cap. Okay, and then the float was 22.32 million. I typically like them under 20 million, but if it's under 25 million, I still will. It's still close, so I like it. 116 million shares being traded. We've been seeing them just fail. As you see, a huge gap up, and then this one gapped up again, and this has history of gapping up and running. So, played that one. Finished this with a minus 1.8%, because it just kind of, then it started getting choppy. And then it did drop and have a nice bounce from 930 back up in the 1020s, which would have been a good potential move. But this is just too choppy now. So potentially I could have made a total of maybe a 4 to 5% maximum move on here. But is it worth the risk to hold for that long? No. So I just rather cut it, take my minus 1.8%. No big deal. And then same thing here for EVGN. Let's get into EVGN. Same shit here. But this one was a little more my criteria. But again, another multi-day breakout. Market cap 79.59 million. Float 20.73 million. But this one didn't have a lot of volume. 3.6 million volume. So no real rotation in here, but it was just a nice breakout. And this, again, I'm coming into the market seeing this. So, I'm seeing this, boom, boom. And I'm thinking, okay, this is having legs. Also a multi-day breakout. As we look right here, multi-day breakout over 3. And so since I seen it over the 3, it just looked like a beautiful trend to hold. And this one I purchased in the 740s, so roughly somewhere in this area. Let's see, where was my buy-in? Let me see. At the 330, what time was it? Yeah, 744 and 747 were when I purchased. You got to keep track of your times too, guys. You know what I mean? Like that significantly helps, because you could see where are you best at, what time of the day, what time of the market are you best at. You feel me? Some people are really good at market opens. Me preferably, whether it's a hot market. If it's a hot market, I do like pre-market breakouts at the market open. When it's a slower market, I like purchasing, anywhere after 7 to 8 o'clock in the morning, because that gives the pattern, the chart pattern, to fucking play out a little bit, so I could see, all right, where's this trend going? Because as you can see, it was looking beautiful, and in the 740s, which was in 744, where'd I buy it? I bought it in this candle in the 330s. At the bottom of this candle, and it did pop a little bit, where I was up, about a 1% gain, and then it just dropped on me, and I took a 1% loss. Then I tried to buy back in at the bottom, and then winded up taking 1% back. And as you could see it play out in real time, boom, 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 and it just never got back to that level and fade. This is exactly what you see. As you seen it run, that's how it is live per minute. 1 minute, you just see them play out. See, and then it just wound up dropping for the rest of the day. Could have been a nice bounce here, 280 to 318, but again, already maxed out my trades. Just readjusting to this market, man. So overall, very happy for the adjustments to this market. Today, Friday, minus 1.8%. But as I said, ever since readjusting, we've been green, man. So, you know, we're seeing a lot more green readjusting to the market. Taking smaller profits because that's what the market is giving me. The market isn't giving me those huge runs I'm looking for. Every now and then they do, but I'm looking for a hot fucking market where I'm seeing shit pop off every fucking day. 2 or 3 or 4 stocks a day popping off doing 80%, 60%, 50%, 100%, 200%, 300%. That's what I like to see. Look at this shitty ass market. Look, you can look at right here. Look, the highest it went, 11%, 8%, 8%, 0%, 5%, 2%, 9%, 11%, 3%. Then it finally had one. This is one stock, by the way. This isn't 2 different ones. This is one stock. So the max, 86% on that one. And then 2%, 6%. And then again, this is one particular stock. So max I could have made was 29%. But still, you know, 29, still not, that's nice, but the move really wasn't there. And then right here again, 2%, 1%, 4%, 7%. It's not consistent. It's not consistently running how I like it. So you have to readjust, man. The readjustment game has put me in the green for the last couple weeks. So, you know, overall, this is what this game's about, man. You have to understand different market conditions, man. You have to understand the market environment. You know, what kind of environment are we in the market right now? You know what I mean? What is the market giving? You feel me? What are the specifics? And just for right now, you know, my low float, 50 or less market cap isn't working right now because it's not a hot market. And because they're so volatile and because there's so little supply, they could either run shoo or they could drop really fast too, whoo, which is what's been happening. So you feel me? We haven't been getting those runs because it's a seller's market right now. It's not a buyer's market. So if we look in September, the first week of September was a red week, readjusted, and realized, okay, hey, I really started to go over my data and realize, hey, man, you know, it's the minus 6 plus 13 isn't working for this particular time of the market. So what are my numbers right now? So I was noticing the risk reward is way in the seller's favor. We're averaging about plus 8% and averaging about minus 10% per loss in the market based off the data. So just had to readjust a little bit. And so week 2, I placed 1 trade, was green. And then week 3, I placed 3 trades, 2 green, 1 red, but still finished the week green. So, you know, we're moving in the right direction. Like I said, man, this is an adjustment game. It's the market, man. You can't force nothing, bro. There is no one fucking right way to do this shit. There is no, okay, I got my minus 6 plus 13 and it's gonna stay like that forever. Nah, it don't work like that, man. The numbers are constantly fluctuating. You have to constantly adjust to what the market is giving you. Best believe that when the market comes hot again, I will be back in that negative 6 plus 13, you know, with a win rate of 67% or, you know, over 50%. So, you know, when you catch yourselves in those win rates, then you're going to be profitable regardless, man. So, you know, as of right now, last couple weeks, been profitable. Not too much. I'm just taking what the market is giving me. But again, profitable. And as I stated before, it's never about the money. It's about the process, right? So if you could collect 2 or 3%, like I said in the last video, you know, on $1,000, that's $30, you know, 20, 30 bucks, which ain't shit. But if you think about the long-term process of it, when you're trading a $10,000 account, making 2 to 3%, that's $200, $300. When you're trading a $100,000 account and you're making 2 or 3%, that's $2,000, $3,000 in a fucking day. So you have to understand that perspective of the game. And I think a lot of people, including myself in the beginning, a lot of beginning traders or people who don't really understand the market, I be seeing guys like, you see these big traders posting shit like, hey man, I made 3 grand today, 4 grand today. But realistically, that 3 or 4 grand in this market was just like a 2% gain, a 3%, 1% gain, because it's all they could take. It's all the market is giving them. And you notice that when it's a hot market, that's when they're posting those, I made 28 grand, 30 grand, 100 grand. When realistically, between the 28 and the 100 grand, it was probably anywhere between 10% to 20% that they made. So you have to understand that perspective, that it's not the money, it's the understanding of how to capture these moves. What is the market giving you? Can I capture a 10% move in this particular market with what I like to trade? Obviously not, because the fucking numbers tell me, no. You can't fucking get that right now. What you could get is maximum 8%. So take a third of that. So I'm happy with the readjustment, because that's what the game is, man. That was my strategy. My strategy was based off me taking a third of the max move. So that's where the 13 comes in. And then the 6 comes in. It's just what I felt comfortable, because during that hot market, it was maximum loss, average 8%, minus 8%. Maximum win, average plus 39%. So that's where I got the plus 13, and 8% I didn't feel comfortable holding, even though the risk reward is still in my favor. In the long term, during that specific market, minus 8 plus 39, that's a great risk reward. But I didn't feel comfortable taking a minus 8%, so I had to readjust a little bit. And I was comfortable with taking a minus 6, and then I ran the numbers through the data. If I were to just cut it at minus 6 every time, what would be my win rate? So that actually put my win rate, above 50, which is great. So again, readjusting, as you can see, in this market condition, it started deviating from my pattern. So that's why I went through a streak of red. And then now I'm readjusting to what the market has to offer for me. And what it's offering me now is just, small 2 to 4% gains. But they add up, man. And you have to understand that as long as I maintain, so the last 2 weeks I've been profitable. So as long as you maintain that and continue that on and adjusting to what the market is giving you, that's the whole point of collecting this data. The whole point of collecting all the numbers, or so you could see, what is the market giving me during this period? During this period, it's not giving a whole lot. When it's hot, it's giving a lot. You know what I mean? And, I have hundreds of examples. So, I just calculate the numbers during different time frames. And this is going to be great for next year, because I'll have, I want to get 12 trading months. So starting August. So August of next year, I'll be able to have a whole year of data for, where I'm at in the market, when am I getting hot spots. And then, like I said, with the sector-wide momentum, when things pop off, you never know when they're going to pop off. Because typically, June and July, they slow down. But this June and July happen to be hot fucking months, because of the coronavirus. So, you just never know when the next big trend's going to hit. I mean, for all we know, it could hit next week. But we don't know that. So, it's just a patience game to wait for it. And I'm moving in the right direction with what the market is giving me. 2 green weeks in a row. I'm very happy for that. Realistically, I've only, I had a break even. First week, break even. One win, 1 loss day. Second one, again, break even, 1 win, 1 loss. Then I had 1 week of straight red, and then a second week of red, and then now green, and then now green. So, this is exactly how the game's played. You're going to have losing weeks. You're going to have losing days. It's all about adjusting and taking what you could get with these market conditions. So, EVGN, minus 1.8%. And then SAVA wound up pretty much breaking even. I want to say I made, what did I make? I think I did just dead ass break even, to be honest. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. It's dead ass break even. Like I said, I think I made probably a couple dollars. That's it. But so you feel me? September 18th, 2020. Don't know what day of this journey is right now, but it's moving in the right direction. So I'm fucking happy. Continue to adjust to this fucking market. Take what you could get out the market. Still don't notice nothing heating up. Like I said before, I like to see these overall in the hundreds. But see, like even this one's in the 70s. But this is nice. But I don't play these $29 stocks because it's just not in my space for my capital. I typically like playing anything between $10 and $2. So I want to see $10 to $2 pop up on this side, but all running 100%, 80%, 70%, 60% plus in the beginning of the market. I'm talking, you feel me, the first hour or two of the market, because that's when you see when the buyers take over, these motherfuckers squeeze. It's called a squeeze. So when you have enough buyers beating out the shorts, all these short people that are betting against the stock going down, they start piling on each other. So when the buyers start piling them and hitting them up, pushing that price up, you know, if the price goes up, they take a loss. So they all start setting their stop loss orders, and that triggers a reaction to, and when they're all trying to panic their way out, it causes a mass squeeze. I understand that. That's what I like. That's what I like to wait for. But in this particular market, we're just not getting much. So again, minus 1.8% on the day. Closed out the week, a green week, even though it was a red day today. Back-to-back green weeks is always good. I always look at the bigger perspective of things. I take it a week at a time, and then a week turns to a month at a time to see where we land. And then, like I said, man, this is a patience game. This is a macro game. In the long term, with specific strategy, specific planning, you will be profitable as long as you maintain in the long run, and don't let this week of, red, understand why you're red. Understand it. Look through the numbers. Look through your data. Look through your videos. And again, man, I wasn't feeling too good today. Yeah, man. So I wasn't feeling good last night, man. So I kind of just woke up and wasn't really even feeling the market, which is why, I did place trades, because I did see beautiful trends when I happened to see them. I did see beautiful trend when I first came in, as you can see. This is what I'm seeing. That's beautiful. Like, that's beautiful. I love that. It would have been nice if I would have been able to be here, but I wasn't at the market that early. And that could have been a nice 8% move right there. But didn't get to capture that. Again, 8%. That's it. 8% move. That's 40 cents on 200 shares, which is what my original purchase was. That'd have been an 8% move before it dropped, and then dropped. So that could have been nice, could have been a good potential, but like I said, man, I personally just wasn't feeling good. And then when I came in the market and seen this, I'm like, oh cool, I'm gonna dip buy it, and it just didn't work out. And I literally placed this trade, bought and sold it in less than a minute both times, because I just, my mind, my body, I wasn't all the way there. I honestly probably shouldn't have traded at all, but I mean, when you see this nice, beautiful trend, I couldn't resist that beautiful trend. And then same thing with SAVA, same thing here. Came into the market, and this is what I'm seeing. So when I'm seeing trends that look that clean, yeah, man, they get me excited. And I feel like, hey, man, how am I gonna pass up a beautiful stock pattern like that? Tried them both. Obviously, I was profitable. No, I broke even. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, I broke even, man. Why do I keep saying it? Yeah, man. So, it's just one of those days, man. And so I just, just called it quits with a minus 1.8. And that's cool, man. Minus 1.8. It's part of what the adjustment. So, normally it'd be minus 6 plus 13 during the hot market. During the slow market, it's more like minus 2 plus 2, because that's all this market is giving me. Yeah, so I got minus, basically. So, the first time I bought it at So it took a minus 5 cent loss, and then yeah, pretty much got the 5 cents right back. So yeah, pretty much break even. And then this one, a 0.5% gain, put this at minus 1.8% for SAVA. So overall, finished off the week green, finished off the last week green, moving back in the right direction, even though it's a red fucking day. Wasn't fully feeling good. You gotta understand that too, man. Like if you're not feeling it, if you're not feeling the mood to trade, even yesterday I wasn't really feeling it. I did wind up profitable yesterday, but it just the feeling, man. Just like, you know, like I said, man, I was out partying with my boys the night before because I ain't seen one of my homies in a long time. So, you know, I went to tap in, and then, you know, got to reminiscing and started having a good time. And I paid for it yesterday, which is why my body was tired today. But hey, man, you know, I'm gravitate towards this shit. You feel me? This pulls me. I don't have to force myself up to see this shit. You feel me? You know, when I used to have to go to work, I hated fucking working jobs, dude. I worked all kinds of fucking jobs, and I would hate going to work, bro, because it doesn't excite me. It doesn't pull me towards nothing, man. And then when I started down this journey of this, I mean, numbers. I love fucking numbers, bro. Like I've always been that type of dude where, you feel me, I want to go get money. You feel me? I'm a go get it. And you know, I went down a certain route at a young age, and it made me a lot of money, but it just wasn't the right route to go. And then I had to change my lifestyle, because I wanted my daughter to see me succeed. And I've always believed that I could accomplish anything. You feel me? I've always believed that if I stick to it long enough, I'm gonna figure something out, and I get that shit popping. So you feel me? When I found out about the stock market, I instantly was like, bro, once I figure out how I could maneuver this, you feel me? Like I said, you feel me? -2 ever since I readjusted. Let's see, 2, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So out of 5 trades, so I'm averaging -2% loss in this new market, like I said. And then we have 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So almost 16 out of 7. So a little over 2% profit, probably about like a 2.2. So I'm averaging plus 2.2% and averaging -2%. So that's a little over a 1-to-1 risk reward, because that's the market conditions I'm in right now. And when I realized that, I adjusted, and boom, I'm green the last 2 weeks. And once you get used to that, you know, it's just a matter of understanding what the market is giving you. And once you get used to that, then you start catching your greens. And when you start catching your greens, you feel me? You slowly grow. And when you slowly grow, when it's time to scale, you know, so, you know, if this is based off $1,000 position size, right? So, like I've explained, dude, and then you grow and you understand, okay, so now when I get to $2,000, you know, 4.5% is now $90 in that day. When I get to $3,000, 4.5% is now $135 in that day. You know what I mean? So, and that's how it works, man. And I think a lot of people don't really have the understanding of what this game's about. They just think, oh, you stock trading, then you must be making a lot of money. No, it's about understanding how to capture the movements that the market gives you at that particular time. Something that I understand now, James, understand it when the market is fluctuating. I mean, like I said, man, let's look over here. So max gain, right? So like I said, over the last few weeks, I haven't been getting no max gain. I mean, I got two stocks that actually work. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 out of all of this. When the market started slowing down. 4. That's it. So I'm not getting a lot. You feel me? 4 out of all those trades. I mean, I don't know how many fucking trades that is. It's up here, 10. Down here, 34. So, you know, out of 24 trades, only 4 of them actually fucking did what I want. So that tells me the market's not in my favor. When it's hot, it's more like, if out of 24, 10, 11, 12 of those, maybe more, would be in my favor. But no, the market ain't giving me that right now. So I got to take what I could get, readjusted. So I'm at a -2 plus 2.2 right now. And at a, let's see, and at a 58% win rate since readjusting. So always, always, always adjust, and get your shit together, right? Do I have anything else to say for the day? Didn't really look at the news today neither. To be honest, like I said, man, you have to understand your own headspace when you're getting into this shit. So, like I said, I still woke up tired as fuck, my body hurting. I even instantly went back to sleep because I didn't feel awake. I didn't feel my body, my mind, everything was exhausted. And I fucking went back to sleep and slept till about 12 o'clock. I went back to sleep about 8 o'clock and slept till 12. And normally I don't ever do that. I can't fucking do that. That's just my body and how I was feeling. So, so didn't really give it, didn't come in with the full concentration today, to be honest. Did not come in with the full concentration today. And it cost me a -1.8. But still smart enough to understand and recognize that, hey, you're just not into it right now, man. Just cut it and call it a day. So, again, cool, man. Got to stick to the plan, man. You know what I mean? Always constant readjustment. I'm taking what the market is giving me, and it's working out in my favor for these last 2 weeks. So I think that's it for today. -1.8%. Don't know what fucking day it is of the journey, but it is what it is. And I'm going to continue to do what the fuck I got to do to make shit happen. All right? All right.